there was a poll that had come out, and this poll had said, where in America are the rudest kids? The rudest kids live in which cities here in America? Starting at number 5, Columbus, Ohio. Number 4, Las Vegas, Nevada. Number 3, New York City. Number
Oh, you would
2,
have thought New York would be number one.
you would have thought. Number 2 is San Francisco.
Oh,
And taking the cake, the king, number 1 city with the rudest kids, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's right.
of
Coming in.
course, of
We
course,
gotta
no
win.
brainer, no brainer. You rude child.
Is this expected? Is this expected in your
I
opinion?
mean, listen, I've been to Philadelphia, and let's just say I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. And you know what? Don't blame them. Don't blame them. If I lived in a place like Philadelphia, I'll be rude as I'll be rude too, man. You know, you get all the terrible weather of New York, but none of the benefits, right? You get like yeah, yeah. No redeeming qualities. None. Not even one.
Listen,
Listen, if you gave me the best piece of property in Philadelphia, I'll pass it up.
stop it. You're gonna. I wait for the day you come to the city just one time and like somebody hears you. It's like, hey,
Philadelphia?
hey, this guy's been talking.
Man, they love
Let me
me in
talk.
Philly. See, they love me in Philly, man.
Anyways, I am surprised that Philly is number 1.
No way.
I'm surprised because how do you get rude kids, right? Like where how does
Rude adults.
I'm guessing, right? Is it because it's rude adults? Is it because there's a lack of adulting, right? See, that's where I would have went the first time, and I think when I looked at it without thinking that Philly got that number 1 because everyone in the city is rude, or right, everyone has a chip on their shoulder or whatever the case is. I would have more thought that rude children come from maybe a lack of discipline or a lack of parenting. So San Francisco and New York actually makes a ton of sense, specifically San Francisco. The other side,
Look at that.
where yes, exactly, San Francisco makes a ton of sense. Why? Because you might in high income areas, places like Silicon Valley, you get a chance to put yourself in a position where, as a family, you can have nannies, you can have maids. Parents might not be home all the time. Parents might be working, or right, have full schedules. So maybe there's a lack of parenting in some of those areas, and because of that, it leads to lack of discipline in children. So children become rude, yada yada yada. I would have gone that place first of like, oh, there's a lack of parenting. But for Philadelphia to be number 1, I don't know that there's a lack of parenting, or right, and especially from like a high income net worth type of conversation. I really just think it's more of the people in general are kind of rude, right? Like just in general for the city, the people are kind of rude. I think it's rubbing off on the kids, but at least we get the number 1 spot in something. Shout out
In
to Philadelphia.
something. That's true. You
Shout
get them
out.
in something. You get
Shout
them in
out.
something. Shout out to Philadelphia. Y'all the rudest. Kids, parents, grandparents.
Stop.
You know, everybody's rude in Philadelphia. No, I'm just kidding. Y'all.
Your
But you are
conversation is rude.
But you are number 1 for a reason. You
Thank
are
you.
number 1 for a reason. And
We'll
I'll say
take-
this. And I'll say this, man. I don't think, I think it could be a lack of parenting in terms of like, I think what you're implying maybe like a time, like the parents don't have time because they have
Sure.
very demanding jobs. But I've seen rude kids with poor families too, who quite frankly, they're just too stressed to even like deal with so much stuff going on. So the kids kind of off doing their own thing. So, and I've actually seen, kids in cities like San Francisco who are actually great kids because home is not as stressful in that way, or they've been exposed to a little bit more, so they're a little bit more humble, or they've seen a little bit more, so they're I don't know, they're a little bit more like whatever a little bit more aware,
Sure.
if you will.
Sure.
I don't know why this is, but yeah, I noticed
sense.
LA isn't on there.
Which is surprising too, because there's some rude kids in LA. But either way, we digress.
Only in Brentwood.
You could probably find them some other places too. There's probably a few other cities.
Welcome to the Good Life.